Hey, my name is Kari McCormick, and I'm a junior here at the University of Dallas. Over the summer, I completed my practicum at Legoland Discovery Center. A lot of people have the misconception that Legoland and Legoland Discovery Centers are owned by Lego, but that's actually not true. Legoland is owned by a company called Merlin Entertainments. Merlin is a European, British-based entertainment facility. It's located in Poole, United Kingdom. That's where their headquarters is. The company owns a grand total of 623 locations. Some of the other brands that Merlin owns are Sea Life, Madame Tussauds, the London Eye, the big Ferris wheel in London. But first, a little background about Lego. The Lego group began in the workshop of Ole Kurt Christensen. He was a woodworker in Billund, Denmark, and it was in 1932 when the Lego bricks were first actually created. A fun fact, the first Lego bricks were not made of plastic. They were, in fact, made of wood. Now, Legoland Discovery Center, there are currently 4 open centers in the world. Chicago, Manchester, Berlin, and Dallas-Fort Worth. They plan on opening new locations within the year. They're going to open one in Atlanta, in Kansas City, in Tokyo, and there are several plans for new locations that haven't been confirmed yet, but the brand is very well known and it's spreading all over the world. My location was in Schaumburg, Illinois. It's about 30 minutes outside of the city of Chicago. It was an indoor entertainment facility. It was 30,000 square feet. It had rides, classes, building areas, a cafe, physical play areas, a 4D movie theater. There's a ton of stuff to do in our center. Now, my job description was to help set and implement appropriate network marketing through community and social media outreach, create offers, coupons, and discounts, as well as identify new marketing opportunities. Now, my internship basically consisted of different areas such as trade sales, events, and entertainment. First, I'm going to talk to you about entertainment. Now, I've actually been working with the company for about 3 years now. I started off as just an entertainer. Now, an entertainer's responsibilities include but are not limited to cleaning, talking to guests, giving shows, teaching kids how to build things, dealing with guest problems. There are several different aspects to being an entertainer, but it's mainly being the face of the company, being out there, being excited, being relatable, playing with kids, and being available for any questions from guests or kids or anything that is needed. I really had to develop good communication skills to be an entertainer, because as an entertainer, you have to be able to think on your feet. You have to be able to be really friendly and answer questions and be able to interact with guests and talk to them and not have a problem with talking about something you don't know about. Another big part of my internship was the in-house events. Now, the events that I planned and executed were Pirates Weekend, Cars Days, Star Wars Weekend, Ninjago Weekend, our 3rd birthday bash, and the Lego Club Weekend. Now, each event saw over 7,000 people in one weekend alone. And before each major event, there was a lot of preparation that had to go into each event. One of the main things I got to do was press releases, a lot of advertising, making sure people know about the event, what's happening. I really had to have good writing skills. I had to be able to pay attention to detail, to not make any grammatical mistakes. I got to write press releases for 3 of the events that actually got sent out to press. The other were written by our marketing assistant before he had left the company. More event responsibilities was selection of activities, decorating the center. For our Cars Weekend, I covered the entire center with checkered flags. My favorite event that I did was Star Wars Weekend. Now, Star Wars Weekend was the largest event in Legoland Discovery Center's history. We saw over 8,000 people in one weekend. At each event, we had different activities that I had to come up with, which could be board games, it could be activities with the kids. For Star Wars Weekend, we brought in the 501st Legion, which is a group of men who dress up as the Star Wars characters. They volunteer to do this, and we brought them in, and we would walk around the center. The activity that I chose was a capture, where we would go choose a child, we'd ask him a trivia question. If he got it wrong, we'd keep asking him until he got it right, and then he got a prize. Another one of my favorite activities was Legoland's 3rd birthday bash. Now, this event kind of got thrown at us last minute. We only had about 3 weeks to plan it, and it was basically just a big birthday party. We gave out goodie bags to kids. I went to 4 different bakeries to find a 75-pound Lego brick-shaped cake. That was fun. That's my second favorite event. Star Wars was definitely my favorite. Another thing that I had to do was the green screen. We had several different photo points throughout the center where guests could take pictures, but they could purchase. For each event, we had a personalized green screen. So for Cars Weekend, we had a car and a finish line in the background, and that required a lot of knowledge with Photoshop. Post-event wrap-up, each event was required to have a post-event summary. This included success of the activities and, more importantly, what could be improved with the activities. I had to go through 15-page promotion reports and decide which promotions were successful. Some of the promotions we did were in our store downstairs. If you purchased $50, you got a free keychain. If you purchased $100, you got a keychain and a poster and a free kit, things like that. So it was my job to determine what promotions were successful, which ones we should continue, and how we should modify them if they weren't very popular among our guests. These post-event wrap-ups were presented to the general manager of our center, as well as each department manager. So once again, good writing skills were imperative. Another big responsibility of mine was off-site events. A few of my favorite events were the mascot races. We went to Arlington Racetrack, which is a racetrack about 15 minutes away from our center. I got to dress up as our costume buddy, and they set us all in the gates. And as soon as the gates opened, I started to run. I fell flat on my face. That's just one of the few fun times I had as an intern this summer. It was all fun, but that was one of the most memorable. With the Arlington Racetrack, we also had several family days where the racetrack would ask us to come out. We'd set up a booth. It was basically just a way for us to get our name out into the community so people know about our center, because a lot of people just think we're a store. So it was my job to talk to the guests, talk to anyone who came up to our tent, tell them about our center, inform them about what's inside, pricing, give them promotions, coupons. Basically, it's just a way to just go out and get people interested and get them to want to come to our center. Another one was the Brick World Convention, which has been called the Comic-Con for Lego bricks. So you basically go. We had a big table set up. It was just another informational where we had to put our name out there, let people know where we were, what we were about. Outsourcing workshops was another responsibility of mine. These were classes that were offered by Legoland Discovery Center where our model citizens would come out to you. This required extensive knowledge about Lego bricks, building techniques, different topics. Some of the workshops that we would teach were race cars, Pablo Picasso, tall towers, the Chicago skyline. These workshops were really important for our center because we would go out to libraries and schools and we would give out promotional coupons. So if we gave a child a coupon that says you buy a parent admission, you get one child free. So even though they were getting that free coupon, we were more times than not getting kids who are going with their brothers. So that would just bring business into us. And once again, just getting our name out into the community. Some of the social networking events that I went to, these were my favorite, were the Chicago Convention and Tourism Bureau. This was basically a vendor showcase for any tourist spots in the Chicagoland area. We had a lot of hotels, and that was really helpful for our center as well because we do a lot of consignment deals with hotels. So basically we would set up ticketing deals. So they would purchase tickets from us and then they would resell them to their guests. I also got to meet the owner of the Cubs, the Sox, a marketing team from the Blackhawks, things like that. So it was just really helpful in networking. We also went to TripAdvisor seminars. For those of you who don't know what TripAdvisor is, it's an online rating website where it rates all the different hotels and tourist spots in the area. We actually did not have a very good reputation online previous to this seminar because we weren't really familiar with the TripAdvisor system. So this was basically kind of a master class for us to go and learn how to improve our image and how to respond to bad reviews. We would bring those guests back, tell them, okay, you had a bad time, come back, let us try to make it better for you. So the TripAdvisor seminar was really helpful. Now, working over old friends was one of the ethical dilemmas that I had to face because I've been working for this company for a long time, and I would now have to boss around people who used to be my equal, and that was hard for me because they would always come up to me and say, we used to be the same, on the same level, we used to be the same job, so that was difficult for me. But I just really had to keep professional air about myself and say, it's not personal, this is work. Another ethical dilemma was dealing with guest problems. You had to be really good with conflict management because sometimes guests would come up to you with a problem and it wouldn't exactly be reasonable. We had to deal with people saying that we were racist if things didn't go their way. Basically just being able to be very professional and not be offended by comments that they make, and just try your best to keep them happy as well as not, conflicting your morals as well. For my future with the company, I plan on applying for the graduate program. It's called Accelerate. It's a Merlin program. I might continue with the Legoland brand in Dallas and possibly Manchester. I would like to experience other branches throughout the world, and obviously the potential of other continuation with Merlin brands.